Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on what's happening on the gaming and reading front. Pleased to say I finished Panzer Commander, the memoirs of Hans von Luck. And well, this is a great read. And thanks to the viewer that mentioned or recommended it, I can't recall his name, but this follows on from my read of Tank Commander, which follows a British lieutenant, a troop commander of a troop of Shermans. This guy, Hans von Luck, saw action on the Russian front, on the North African theatre, on the coast at D-Day, in the defence of Berlin, and he was, or eventually was promoted to colonel. He led reconnaissance battalions, took them in action, spearheaded thrusts into France, and he served in every front in the World War II basically, and great commentary on the battles that were fought on all those fronts from the German perspective. What comes through very strongly here, he was a really good bloke, and most of the Germans that fought with him on that he dealt with under his command and his troops were all pretty good people, just doing their duty. So it really dispels the myth that all Germans were Nazis and capable of really terrible things. So it comes through as a very good person and puts the Germans in a very good light, but doesn't negate the fact that some were quite nasty. So what a great read this is. And after the Berlin, it talks about his capture by the Russians and his 5 years in Russian camps, and that's a fascinating story. Then his release and how he was used by various war and staff colleges to throughout Europe to talk about his experiences, and became a very good friend of Stephen Ambrose and so forth. So I will highly recommend this as a engrossing read about combat in World War II from a colonel's perspective who was on the front line the whole time. Terrific stuff. So that's Panzer Commander, the memoirs of Hans von Luck. So on that note, I'm pleased to report that I have finally punched and clipped D-Day at Omaha Beach. It's taken me a while because I got a bit bored with it, and that's because these counters are some of the worst ones I've ever come across in terms of punching. They were a real trial, and obviously when they were printed, they weren't punched correctly, so you have to get a sharp knife out or scissors and do it individually. So that was a real chore, and damaged a few of them in the process, but got there in the end. The only disappointing thing is I've heard that in even recent reprints of this one here that they haven't resolved the counter problem. I could be wrong on that, but that's highly disappointing if that's the case. On a good note, they've actually put out a 3rd division with a mounted board, which is very good for me because I'm not into these paper maps, which I have here. Patrick, as I mentioned in a previous video, kindly donated this copy to me, which was very good of him, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it's been the only reason I haven't played this game is because it comes on a paper map, which just doesn't suit my search circumstances. Plexiglass or perspex as we call it doesn't suit me and where I am, and I don't like it, and I much prefer a mounted board, and I've held off with this game because of that. But Patrick kindly gave me this, so I've started preps to play it, and I will be picking up a mounted board at some stage in the near future. So yes, this is a game that I've played once briefly with Patrick, and I could see the potential in it. Very highly rated game, and for a solitaire player it's pretty surprising I haven't played it. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, which is probably just a few of you, it just depicts Omaha Beach on D-Day, and as the player you are playing with the US 1st Division and the US 29th Division against a very smart solitaire system, and the map very briefly contains all of these German defensive positions here, and here, called Widerstandsnests, and there are also reinforcement positions, and it is all all the AI are generated by some very smart cards, and it is a very challenging game. But truth is, I'm just a pure novice, so I will have an update on that shortly. Looking forward to that. Looking forward also to getting a mounted board. So that's been the situation on the gaming front. Not too much happening, just reading the book, polishing it off, Panzer Commander, punching and getting D-Day at Omaha Beach ready for play, and hopefully in the next week or so you'll see some reports on D-Day. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and have a great morning, evening or afternoon, depending where in the world you are.